I want to talk about this deal stuff a little bit more. We've been talking, locally, but I know that you, your father, Michael Roberts Sr., my brother Boyce, and a few other people, Pastor Jamal Bryan and Bryant's, another brother out of Detroit, I believe, the car dealer
Greg
ownership,
Jackson.
yeah,
Greg
Greg
Jackson.
Jackson, and others just took a really powerful trip over to Ghana.
Yes.
And I want to talk about business opportunities and things that you are doing here and how it can relate to what you're doing over, or I guess what opportunities are over there in Ghana and the entire, I guess, African continent.
Well, all the reason we even create, my father kind of formed this business delegation, and as part of the year of return to Africa, celebrating 400 years since when the slaves first hit the shores of America back in 1619, and now it's 2019. So, which I think is taking on a lot of tremendous momentum, which is a beautiful thing. But it's important that we, in order to really truly build a bridge, that we had business leaders go there and really dig into shoring up relationships with the local leaders there, and the politicians, as well as just the people in general, and making sure that we have their okay as well, and they get to know who we are. In a lot of places beyond the United States, relationships is first. You can go to Japan, for example, and it's not recommended you speak a word of business that first day or night. You dine, you get to know each other. Everybody kind of just gets a natural sense of each other, and then next day you can get on with business. So the same thing is, I would say, with Africa as well. Going in there and really just getting to know people, and everybody just kind of getting a feel for each other first. And so kind of starting with here in America, all this experience that we have, from car dealerships to operating mega churches to building commercial real estate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We, my dad was very strategic in a nice diverse representation of entrepreneurship here that we thought could be critically impactful in Africa. So all 12 of us, whatever number it was, flew over there, and we were greeted by Princess Okansi in Accra, Ghana. It was beautiful. They greeted us with hugs and drums and all these. It was just amazing. But as we kind of got deeper into it, what we found was the most important thing was to really start building this bridge of commerce between America and Africa. So, one thing about the people there is they're very warm and inviting, and they're like, this is your home, and we welcome you and we love you. So you'll see little people.
Yeah, man, I love it. Yeah.
Well, my two daughters just got home from school, starting break now. So,
all right, cool.
Yes. So with that being said, our whole point here is to not speak the language of excuses or feeling sorry for ourselves. That's over. Going forward, we're going to speak the language of power, and making sure that we connect with each other. One thing I noticed that us African Americans, I could tell you, probably 100% of us still kind of have this feeling of disconnect. We could trace our ancestors here through this, when the slaves hit, Louisiana and Alabama and all those places. But when you kind of connect back to that, it's still a disconnect because, those people were brought here, so what was beautiful was that when you reach that continent and you're welcome like that, you get connected to home. I mean, just think about it. Those people were not brought to Ghana. That's literally their home. Like they go back, I don't know how long, thousands and thousands of years. So when you connect, and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm the ancestors of survivors and things like that, but we came from here. So it's highly recommended that African Americans from the diaspora go there, or just a diaspora period, beyond the shores of Africa, go there and just touch the ground, and you'll finally have this sense of connection. And what it does to you, it just gives you this, it instills this sense of just warmth and comfort that comes over you. And then after you feel that, like, okay, found home, I know where I come from now. Now let's get to business. So now we're extremely motivated to establishing auto dealerships with them, bringing our technology, our real estate and residential development experience there. But one thing that's critically important to us is that we always were going to partner with local African companies. We're not going to be those people that come in there and just rip the natural resources out of there and just leave it to rot. That's not what we're doing. We're literally building bridges. So back to your question of what we're doing here in America and what we're doing there in Africa now, we are going to lift all the ships up as the sea lifts together, and we're going to make sure that we're all about wealth building. We're going to be all about wealth building, man, together. We're not going to go in there and just, like I said, we're not going to go in there and just make money on the backs of our brothers and sisters there. We're going to actually partner with them. We're going to build really great relationships with them, and we're going to build wealth and future legacy. And there's a lot to learn from them as well. It's not just us going over there. We're learning a lot. We learned a ton of information and history while over there. So it's just really, it's just a new chapter. It's a new chapter in our history. So we're really excited about it.